the house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river, and next to the corral, the field of ripe corn dotted with the kidney bean flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a rainfall, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done anything else but scan the sky toward the northeast. "Now we're really going to get some water, woman," the woman who was preparing supper replied. "Yes, God willing." The oldest boys were working in the field, and while the smaller ones were playing near the house, until a woman called them in to come in for dinner. It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and still. A man went to look for something in the corral for no other reason than to allow himself the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body, and when he returned, he exclaimed, "Those aren't raindrops falling in the sky. They're new coins. The big drops are 10 centavo pieces, and the little ones are 5s. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with the kidney bean flowers draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and together with the rain, the very large bath hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. "They're getting really bad now," explained the man, horrified and mortified. "I hope it passes quickly." It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, the whole valley. The field was white, covered with salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone with the kidney bean plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness, and when the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, "A plague of locusts will have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn or beans." That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There's no one who can help us. We'll go hungry all this year. But in the hearts of all who lived in the solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was one single hope: help from God. Don't be so upset. Even though this seems like a total loss, remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. Lencho was an ox of a man, working like an animal in the fields, but he knew how to write. The following Sunday at daybreak, having convinced himself there was a protecting spirit, he began to write a letter, which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. "God," he wrote, "if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. I need 100 pesos in order to resow the field and to live until the crop comes because of the hailstorm." He wrote, "To God" on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still trouble went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it in the mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman and always helped at the post office, went to his boss laughing heartily and showing him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. The postman, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke into laughter, but almost immediately he turned serious and, tapping the letter to his desk, commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter to believe the way he believes, hope with confidence that he knows how to cope with starting up a correspondence with God. So, in order not to disillusion the prodigy of faith revealed by a letter that could not be delivered, the postman came up with an idea. Answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident that the answer it needed was something more than the goodwill ink and paper. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employer, from his friends. He gave part of his salary, and several friends were advised to give something for an act of charity. It was impossible for him to gather enough of the 100 pesos, so he was able to spend the farmer only a little more than half. He put the bills in the envelope addressed to Lencho, and with them a letter containing only the single word as a signature, God. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who had performed a good deed, looked on from the doorway from his office. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise in seeing the bills. Such was his confidence, but he became angry when he counted the bit money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. Immediately, Lencho went to the window to ask for paper and ink, and on the public writing paper he started to write, with much wrinkling of his brow caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it, and it said, God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached me. Send me the rest, since I need it very much, but don't send it through the mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks.